false accusations. It is a smear campaign, slander, defamation of character, libel, misrepresentation of the facts, abuse and attacks against this noble institution and corporation.
Told me this morning that the man is tired of y'all bothering him. Leave him alone. I got a sign from the Lord this morning, and it said that Dr. Umar is really tired of y'all believing that he don't want no unity. I got a sign from the Lord this morning that said Dr. Umar just want y'all to leave him alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Just stop bothering me around. That's what he said. He started y'all following him around. Leave him alone. When he want to go over there, leave him alone. He want to go to Atlanta, leave him alone. He want to go over there, leave him alone. He want to go to Texas, leave him alone. He want to do an event in California, leave him alone. He want to do an event out there in Russia, leave him alone. He want to do an event out there in the UK, leave him alone. He tired of y'all. He said he tired. He just want unity. He tired. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave him alone. Can y'all do it? Can you people do it? Shout out to the queen. She's up this morning. The queen is up this morning. Anti-Afro. Got the movements. I just want to say thank you so much for being who you are.
Hey everyone, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to let Pastor Lee's introduction stand. I thought it was a great introduction. Thank you, Pastor Lee. Everyone check out Pastor Lee's channel. He's riveting, he's unique, he's humorous, and he's serious. Don't miss his content. He's always right on point. If you haven't already, be sure you check out the formal unveiling of Operation Rat Trap, FDMG / Wilmington, Delaware. It's the setup for this video. It's crucial that you check it out. Now, people, if you haven't figured it out by now, if you're scratching your head wondering what exactly is going on here, I will go ahead and tell you. Umar Johnson is trying his hardest to find a diversion from many things. And I've been talking to some people. I've been doing some research. All that hot air Umar Johnson is spewing out of all the orifices. It's just that. Making up, I don't know what the hell he's trying to claim at this point. He's claiming so many things. Here's the bottom line. He hasn't paid any bills at the abandoned bomb shelter, except for he finally paid for the permit. And they were hounding him for it. This is the permit to allow the electrical company to come in and do the work. But as you see in the most recent video, you still see exposed panels overhead. Exposed panels overhead means nothing has been done with the electricity. God knows how he got it on. And at this point, I don't care because we already confirmed he lied and he placed people at risk. Umar Johnson wants you all to think he forgot that we're aware that he claimed to have an alarm there. Did you guys hear an alarm when Umar Johnson supposedly entered the abandoned bomb shelter? There was no alarm going in. There was no alarm going out. And the dude that was supposedly there got up and did what? Nothing. He was just there slamming doors. Here, let me get up here. Let me get up from here and slam a couple doors. Let me slam a couple doors. Okay, I'm going to slam a door right now. Go slam another door. Hold on. I'm working to slam some doors. Slam that door. Any other doors run around here? What does that prove? What is that proving? That I'm walking through an abandoned bomb shelter and I'm slamming doors. What? Umar Johnson clearly paid someone to come in there and holler and scream as if, what? They were doing work? Not impressive. Not impressive in the least. It's also not impressive that Umar is going about repeating all these names from people who lived and died 100 years ago, 40 years ago, 80 years ago, 200 years ago. And all that does is push the issue further and further away from his mouth, from his mind. If he's talking about whoever, Marcus Garvey, I don't even care if it's Martin Luther King Jr., as he stands in front of his gravesite threatening to kill me and other people, it doesn't make any difference. If he's talking about them, he's not talking about opening up a school. And that is Umar Johnson's intent, is to keep people off the topic. So he comes up with this dramatic, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what to call it. He conjured up in his mind some story about people going to do something or confront him at the abandoned bomb shelter. Let Umar Johnson run his mouth. That's what Umar Johnson does best. Run his mouth and doesn't follow through on anything. How in the hell can you have a so-called building for 2 years and you do not pay a single solitary bill except for the permit recently? Oh, and I think last year he paid some on some of the taxes, but none of the utility bills, because there's no intent to open a school. There's only the intent to convince people that he's going to open up a school so he can continue to justify begging for money. Every single video, begging for money. He's taking the chance right now to do whatever he's going to do, wanting people to come out, and he's always giving the Cash App and the PayPal and all of this. Umar Johnson doesn't want anybody to talk about the facts. So he comes up with another sham by saying he's going to be contacting a lawyer. Contact a lawyer. Let's get this straight. A lawyer doesn't have any authority over anybody. Not a single person. The only time the lawyer would have authority over you when you're sitting on a witness stand and a judge tells you to answer the questions, or during a deposition, which is ordered by the court. Aside from that, no attorney has any power over you that represents Umar Johnson. So even if the attorney sends a letter, say, again, we're pretending, because Umar Johnson's so full of shit, you can't believe a damn thing he says. Let's pretend, let's go into La La Land, deep, deep, deep into La La Land, because that's where we have to go to try to pretend that Umar has a scenario that's actually true. That he gets a lawyer and the lawyer sends out all these letters. Because according to Umar Johnson, I gave the names of my biggest detractors. So what? Give the names of your biggest detractors. And we, again, I have to remind you, we're pretending. Let's say that this attorney fires off letters to Umar Johnson's biggest detractors. So they fire off a letter. The letter is not enforcement. The letter cannot command you to do anything. It'll simply state, if you don't stop X, Y, and Z, we can use legal remedy. So use legal remedy. The last place Umar Johnson wants this is in a courtroom, in the legal system. You know it, I know it, and most of all, Umar Johnson knows it. He's talking nothing but hot air and, frankly, shit. That's what comes out of Umar Johnson's mouth. And it's actually hilarious how Umar Johnson rattled off false accusations and smear campaigns and slander and defamation of character, labeling, misrepresenting, abuse, and attacks. The reason why Umar Johnson was so able to rattle this off is because that's what he does on a daily basis to other people. The nerve of Umar Johnson to sit here and say that his character was defamed. Umar Johnson's behavior was self-defaming. Nobody had to do anything. Just because he doesn't want to hear the truth doesn't make it slander and libel and abuse and attacking. He has a nonprofit, and I've said this many times. It is legitimate, it is appropriate, it is legal, and actually it's a requirement that nonprofits disclose. And if people are not satisfied, they can pursue disclosures elsewhere. Do not need anyone's permission to do that. So Umar Johnson claiming to file all these lawsuits, we all would look forward to that because that would give us easier access to the financial records. To give you a little bit more detail about Operation Rat Trap. And the reason why I'm calling it Operation Rat Trap, and I hope you will come along in referring it to Operation Rat Trap, is because the only things going on there, the only activity going on are the rats running around in the building. And Umar Johnson edited out the video where the brother told him, "You got rodents." He edited out of the video. Lennon Honor has the full version where the dude told Umar they had rodents there. Of course you're going to have rodents when the building is vacant. And Umar also tries to fool everybody by keeping all the items as they were in the location. Now, if you bought the building and the materials were there, okay, fine. But he's doing it as a prop. There will be never, ever a situation where a child will be sitting down in one of those nasty chairs or walking into those doors to attend any school. This is simply an orchestrated, long drawn out scam. Operation Rat Trap is going to focus on the officials that have the enforcement power to make Umar Johnson act or else. Even if it's an administrative hearing and you violate those orders, that can proceed to criminal charges. If it's in the civil arena and you ignore, that can be pursued or referred for criminal charge evaluation. So Umar just can't decide, I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. There will be consequences to that. As far as all of the things that Umar Johnson makes up, Umar Johnson can continue to make up whatever he wants to make up. The attention is going to be focused on getting Umar Johnson on a timeline to make sure his hand is forced in being serious about this. We know he's not, but he's stringing the black community along over and over and over again. That's his goal. So Operation Rat Trap is going to engage the officials in Delaware. Because let's make it very clear. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is a big place. The state of Pennsylvania, relatively speaking, is a large area with a lot of issues, inside and out, especially with their government. So do you think they were going to place Umar as a priority? Absolutely not. Although he's very much so deserving of that because of the long-term fraud that he is engaged in. We have had more of a positive response from the officials in Wilmington. And this is going to be a concerted effort. All the other mess that goes on, let it go on, but maintain your insistence, maintain your boundaries as to your expectations when it comes to what you will put up with before getting the law involved. This has gone on for far too long. Take a look at this list. How many things on this list do not apply to Umar Johnson? We all know every single thing on this list applies to Umar Johnson. He has said or done everything on this list. The frustration with Umar Johnson is that he's unable to truthfully state this applies to the anti-fraud warriors. Well, that's Umar's issue to work out. That has nothing to do with us. We're going to continue to do what we're doing. It's perfectly legal. And again, if Umar Johnson has a big concern about it, he can take it to court and let a judge rule. Well, that's Umar's issue to work out. That has nothing to do with us. We're going to continue to do what we're doing. It's perfectly legal. And again, if Umar Johnson has a big concern about it, he can take it to court and let a judge rule. That is the trier of fact. The judge will indeed make his or her rulings. Again, I don't believe anything that Umar Johnson says. His only goal is to get money immediately from you. Once you give that money, he is gone, or he holds you captive with the auto debit. Remember I told you how Umar was pursuing another auto debit scam, and he found it with the Loyal Donors Club. Well, if they decide to do it, they decide to do it. You just make sure you remain clear about your goals and your intent. Now, here is something to consider, which, of course, Umar Johnson doesn't want to even address or bring up to you. No matter how many times he tries to perp by walking through an abandoned bomb shelter and claiming that it's progress and yelling to, hey, brother, hey, black man, yeah, get me the key, like he's doing something. No matter how often he does that, keep in mind, Umar Johnson cannot open, he cannot operate, he cannot bring children into a building to provide any type of instruction unless he goes through the state of Delaware. So if he's filed no documents, he's paid no bills, you think about how motivated Umar Johnson is to really help your child by going to this FDMG where nothing is taken care of. Be thankful you have standards, you have expectations, and you're able to easily apply. Buyer, beware.